Hello my beautiful people, welcome to your first ever set of numerology videos with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. As many of you know, I do weekly tarot readings, monthly tarot readings. I also do a numerology live stream each month as well to set you up for the month ahead. Many of you know me from the Life Path series that I put out, which I cannot thank you all enough. Like I'm still actually completely blown away at how popular it's been, how many view counts they have. It's still really strange to me because when I was doing it, I was just doing it as a labor of love. And I've learned so much more since then as well. So don't forget, if you haven't seen it, there is a video that will show you how to calculate your life path number. That will be floating around up here somewhere. There's also a video to help you calculate your personal year number, which is a very important vibration for you to know. So there's also a video for you to find out how to do that as well. Be sure to check those out so that you can really get into these videos and use this information for the best for your, your path ahead for the month. So with that said, if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. If you are a continued subby of mine, you know I absolutely love you, and thank you so much for being a part of the Radiant Reality community. So we get into it. August 2021 is a universal 4-month, right? So some of you are probably like, if you know numerology at least a little bit, some of you are probably like, oh my gosh, here we go. For all of you, you will probably remember, for those of you that have been with me long enough, you will remember the numerology video that I put out at the start of 2020, which was a true 4-year. Lots of people postulate it being a 22. It wasn't a 22 year. I can assure you it was a 4-year. I'm not going to debate that. That's the way that I experience it. That's the way that I feel it was with what I know of numerology. So we're going to get straight into it. So what is 4? I got my trusty notes here. Always got notes. You guys know me by now. So 4 is a slow energy. It's slow, grounded, and determined. It's a number of structure. It's a number of order. And so this month really asks us all to be, or invites us all to work inside the parameters of what we know, of what we understand, what we can do really well. 4 is grounded and practical, and it's structured. This is the order, the energy of order. 4 is all about the manifest world. It's about the tangible, the physical, it's about the material. It's a very slow moving energy. So this month, I mean, which, you know, considering it's Leo season, isn't necessarily a bad thing. One of the things that I really like about this actually is it will allow us to enjoy the summer. It will allow us to just really experience the best of what we can. Providing we don't swim against the tide or try to fight the energy. That's the thing with 4 energy. If you try to force something, it will push back. And as we've already all seen, right, the universal energy is bigger than we are. Now, that being said, I've got here, this can be an amazing month to see results, but can also be a month that requires you to stand firm on what you have promised to deliver. So this is kind of the long and short of it, right? The number 4 is very linked to the energy of integrity, honesty. So whatever you promise you're going to do this month, you're going to have to show up for it. This is why in the month of August, you want to under promise and over deliver. If you do it the other way around, you will be held accountable. 4 and 6 energy tend to be very much like that. Like, you can't get away with throwing a comment out, oh yeah, you know, I'll totally be there and I'll do that. Like, it will hold you accountable. So if you say you're going to do something, be prepared to show up in that way. If you do show up in the way that you say you're going to, the rewards and the blessings can be absolutely wonderful, which is great. Now, 4 energy, I've got to be really honest with you, it doesn't fuck around. So like I said, you've got to be in your integrity, you've got to stand tall, you've got to be honest, you've got to be open about what is possible, what you're prepared to do, what you're prepared to give, and you need to follow through on that. What I will say as well, you've got to come up with the goods, right? If you're planning to do something this month, a solid plan, being organized, those things are going to be paramount for you this month if you really want to get ahead. One of the things that I will say about this energy as well, you got to come up with the goods. If you're planning to cut corners, if you're planning to try to pull the wool over somebody's eyes, or, you know, wing it here and there, it will catch you. And trust me, when 4 energy catches you out, it's usually quite public. So, or at least for you know, for somebody to witness. So if you don't want that experience, you'll have to forgive me, I'm currently melting. It's so hot here in the UK. But hey, I ain't complaining. We got sunshine. It's good, right? But it will catch you out. So what I've said to everybody is, grab yourself by the boobs or grab yourself by the balls and get on with it. You've got to dig in, you've got to dig deep, and you've got to be prepared to work. That is what this month is asking you to do. It's a powerful energy for getting ahead, absolutely. It can be a month where you can build a very solid foundation for whatever dreams, goals, hopes, wishes you have going forward. So the energy of the number 4, if you've been with me long enough, you'll know I will have said this to you. It can literally be a box where you, like, that holds you prisoner or holds you captive, and it's usually a box of your own making, or it can be a step or a platform to get you to where you want to be next, right? So use that to your best advantage. Now that you have that information, plan accordingly. What the characteristics of this energy are direct, focused, and linear. When you think about a square, it's, you know, it's lines, right? It's straight lines. It is clear. It's defined. It doesn't have, you know, there's nothing wishy-washy. 4 energy is you are either in or you are out. There's no room for, there's room for negotiation based on plans. Absolutely. Based on organization, yes, absolutely. But if you're hoping to wing it, you know, just chuck it in there and see how it goes, no. It's practical, realistic, and grounded, right? So all of these things are buzzwords this month. And if you're the sort of person that's usually like, yeah, you know, I'll just see how it goes, you might struggle this month, especially because the external world is going to demand more specificity from you. All right, so it's determined, disciplined, and dedicated. And it's interesting that those words come up with the 4 energy, because the letter D corresponds to the number 4. So, right, it makes sense. Discipline, determination, you know, dedication, all of these things. It's also a number that provides the energy of drudgery, honesty, and integrity. There's nowhere to hide with a number 4. It's just like a square, right? You know, if one line is kind of bowed or a little bit out, or, you know, goes off at an angle, it's no longer a square. That's why when you think about the energy of the number 4, it's precise. You know, it's precise, it's specific. And this month you have to be those things with yourself and with any of your endeavors. So the questions that you need to ask yourself: are your plans solid? Are you organized? Do you know where everything goes, where it belongs? Do you have a good idea of what the end goal or result actually looks like for you? Do they have weight, or are they pie in the sky? And this vibration is going to highlight that to you this month. So basically buckle up. It's not a bad month. There's no such thing as that kind of energy. It's not whether it's good or bad. It's about how you utilize it and how you internalize and then externalize that information or that energy. So yes, it's going to depend on your life path number, how you approach this. It will depend on your upbringing, your growth, your mindset. It's going to depend on your astrology. It's going to depend on all of these things. But when you think about each one of these systems, tarot, astrology, numerology, you know, energy work, like, they're all slices of what make up the whole you. And so each one of these pieces of information that I give you is giving you a different insight into how things are going to affect you specifically. All right, so with that said, let's get into your personal life path messages. Take care, and I'll see you in a moment. Hello, you wonderful Life Path 2 person. All right, so let's get into it. So as a Life Path 2, 4 is an energy that you might not necessarily be acquainted with, but you can harmonize with. The number 2 is all about balance, harmony, connection anyway. And the fact that that we're in a 4 month, which is all about order, clean lines, you know, it's about finding the beauty in the detail. This is something that you can get on board with, even if that energy is a little bit more stuffy than you are used to. Now, one of the things that I want to say to you here, because your energy is about bringing opposing energies, sometimes opposing things that don't harmonize together. You are the great bridge between things, between people, between energies even. So 4 offers you a kind of stability, and it also provides an understanding of true connection, because that's what you're all about, right? Which is connection. So when it comes to your love life this month, you and your partner are going to have to really connect to each other and ask yourself, am I playing the best responsible role for my partner? Am I being responsible with our resources, with our time? Am I being responsible enough to say, you know, this is what I will take care of, this is what you'll take care of? Because you're all about balance and connection and harmonizing things, this month the 4 energy is asking you to bring that to ground, not just as a concept, but as a practice. This is about being practical and saying, right, okay, you know what about our relationship needs more juice? What about our relationship is working perfectly? And more importantly, if something is working perfectly, it's not just, okay, well, you know, that's great, I don't need to do anything. Voice that to your partner. 2 tends to be more yielding. It tends to be more accepting. It tends to be a bit more of the yin energy. And as such, it can be a mirror, right? So you could be showing your partner the best attributes of yourself. You could be mirroring those back to them. But finding a time or finding the energy to be active, right? Finding the energy to say to your partner, this is going really well and actually love it. This isn't working so well. What can we do about it? Being more vocal this month, rolling your sleeves up and getting on with being honest about that, I think will really get you ahead in your relationship. If it's good, say so. If it's bad, say so. That's the only way that things are really going to get ahead for you this month. If you are single, it's the connections that are harmonious, intimate, that have a sense of practicality, that have a sense of material sensuality and connection about them. You know, like, do you feel good in this person's presence? Do you feel, you know, do you feel on edge? Like, if you're single, it's going to be the people that put you at ease, but it's also going to be the people that are already on their own paths. The reason I say this is because we're in a 4 month. It's not for you to do that thing that you love to do where you're fixing things or people. It's just for you to harmonize with or align with what is already happening. What I've also put here is be honest about what you need or expect now when it comes to your relationships, and allow those things to be highlighted, right? So speak your truth when it comes to relationships, you know, and what you want from them, what you want from yourself, what you're willing to do, what you're willing to be. So when it comes to your money this month, when it comes to your finances, the conservative approach is going to be best this month, I have to say. Create a budget. Get organized, get your ducks in a row, make sure that things are allocated. If you want to see a financial advisor this month, absolutely go ahead for it. You do really, really well with that kind of energy. Maybe a savvy friend or somebody that's got like an inside track on the financial aspects of things. You know, which would be even better. If you're buying or saving to buy a home, this could be a great month to do the research behind that. An even better month to get like a credit health check, and especially if you're in a couple and you're planning to buy, looking at your finances, looking at their finances, looking at your collective bubble of monies, really important this month. You know, especially because of the way that the numbers are combining for you. When it comes to your work, when it comes to the professional sphere, going it alone isn't the way. You're a life path 2, so going anything alone is never really a good idea for you. You need connection, you need energy to mirror, you need something to balance, you need something to align and bring together. Now, that's not to say that you're codependent, it's actually really not. Life path 2 people, when they're vibrating at their best and their highest, are highly inspirational, motivated. They're highly they can be great leaders because they understand not only how to delegate but how to work with people. So don't get into your head about that. But yeah, this month being a team player will count for a lot, and the need for integrity whilst in that team. The word tensegrity really comes up for me for you guys this month, just because of the specific numbers we're dealing with. Clarity in all dealings and a keen sense of your peers will be needed to get ahead. So this month, because as a life path 2 you're always aware of what other people need naturally, this month that can really help you get ahead, but you've got to use that active principle, you've got to use that active principle in order to make that happen, right? So when you see a need, fill the need, right? I think that's in the film Robots. See a need, fill a need. I love that film, like literally love it. I could watch it all the time. I don't know why, there's just like almost like a childlike wonder to it, and it's funny. So this is not a month to cut corners. I've mentioned that in the blurb. It's a great month to consider the career and its requirements. What about your work needs to be looked at? What about your work is either not fulfilling, or what are you not giving enough to? So this month, for your best steps, be the one to start the connection, right? Don't wait to be invited this month. Be active about the principle. Not too fast, obviously, but it is for energy. Reach out to people that you know can help you. Ask the hard questions, but be prepared for the answers, right? This month, you've got to ask the question. If you're in a new relationship, do you think this is going anywhere? Yes? Great, then let's give it more juice. No? Okay, then you know what, it probably might be time to call it a day. Things like that. Ask the hard questions this month, because the answers that you get, they're honest, they're open, and they're where it really is at. Be present and be reliable this month is one of your best practices. And then finally, for your warnings, the things that you really need to be aware of, trying to get something for nothing this month will backfire on you. Taking ideas, trying to pass them off as your own, is going to be dicey, and it will bite you in the ass. So just be careful. Trying to rush things or force things or push an ulterior motive or agenda this month will really get the better of you, and will likely blow up in your face. So please, just think about that. One of the best pieces of advice I can give you, be honest about your desires and your needs. So, all right, let's have a look at your new and full moons. All right, so for your new moon energy this month, you have the Gate 22 and Grace. The new moon is actually asking you to create what you want to create because you want to create it, because you love it. And look at this, you've got 22, right? 2 and 2, which is really awesome. I'm a bit geeky like that, so this is I'm like, cool, numerology. One of the things that I love about this card, it always suggests that you are in a place where something creative is seeking expression through you. And you might be telling yourself, not sure this is going to be successful, or people are going to like it. Fuck that. It's not about them. It's about you. It's about you creating because you want to create, and it feels good to make something. And then finally, this card as well suggests when it comes to partnerships and relationships, this month, the new moon could see you forging a partnership, a connection, enhancing a relationship, that lasts, that really stands the test of time. For your full moon, you have the Gate 26 and the Greater Good. This card, I love this card and the message behind it. And the message for this, especially with the messages that I've given you, this really is a month. The full moon is asking you to do what is good for the collective, what is for the greater good. This is about realizing what you get out of something and what somebody else gets out of something. If the connection is mutually beneficial this month, everybody wins. Like I said though, if you tried to do that whole surreptitious, yeah, if I do this with them, I'm going to get this out of it, and oh, that's me. This full moon and this whole energy of the month is going to work against you, and it could see you being called out publicly in some way. So honesty, integrity up front, all right? With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments, do you love it? Do you loathe it? What do you think? Take care, and I'll see you soon.